Hello, everyone. I would like to greet you with the Islamic greeting of Assalamu alaikum. May God's peace be with you all. My name is Khurum Rafiq, and I am a trustee on the Redbridge Faith Forum, and I also serve as the Imam of Ilford Islamic Center. I would like to share a few words with you from the Muslim perspective regarding the theme of this year's Interfaith Week, which is related to loving your neighbor. Loving and caring for one's neighbor is a common teaching across all faiths, and it is a golden principle found within every society. Islam also encourages its followers to uphold this important value. The noble Prophet of Islam, Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, he hugely emphasized upon loving and caring for one's neighbor, so much so that he directly linked fulfilling the rights of the neighbor to the perfection of one's faith and belief. For example, the noble Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, he said, "None of you can perfectly believe until his or her neighbor is not safe from their hands and their tongue." He also said, "None of you can truly believe if you go to sleep on a full stomach whilst your neighbor goes to sleep hungry." The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, he warned his followers that you will not attain salvation or God's pleasure, and you will not be able to attain paradise if your neighbor is not safe from your conduct and your behavior. Now, the question is, who is a neighbor according to Islamic teachings? Well, the Holy Quran states that a neighbor is of two types. God mentions Jari dhil Qurba, which means the neighbor who is close, and Jar al Junub, which is the neighbor who is a stranger. Both of these types of neighbors have three possible meanings. The neighbor who is close, the first possible meaning for it is the neighbor who is a relative. Or the second possible meaning, the neighbor whose house is next to your house. Or the neighbor who is close, the third possible meaning, the person who is from the same faith as you. As far as the second type of neighbor that God mentions, the neighbor who is a stranger, this also has three possible meanings. The first, the neighbor who is not your relative, or the neighbor whose house is further away from you, or third possible meaning, the neighbor who is not from your faith or not from your community. Hence, we understand that a neighbor, according to Islam, is your fellow human being. In this current climate, where the entire world is gripped by this deadly virus, it is even more imperative that we look after one another, that we care for one another, we show compassion and concern for one another, especially the weak and the vulnerable in our society. I pray that God grants us deliverance from this deadly virus, and He allows us to come out of this even more stronger and united and loving neighbors towards one another. Thank you for listening. God protect you all, and God protect us all. God help us all.